Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. So today, I'm recording this just a couple of minutes after the LCS Finals has finished up. Today has been a crazy day, but also a super long day of League of Legends action, obviously for European, North American fans, or just fans of the game in general. We saw a 5-game series over in Europe between Rogue and Mad Lions. It came right down to the wire. We saw a 5-game series in the LCS between Cloud9 and Team Liquid that came down to the wire, but not so much in Game 5 as the series over in Europe did. But now that the spring split is officially over in both Europe and North America, we're going to start looking ahead a little bit. For the teams who aren't going to MSI, we're going to be looking ahead towards the summer split and what things are going to be looking like, potential changes, adjustments, everything that needs to be made. But for the teams that are going to be headed to MSI, we're taking a look at their groups. We're going to be breaking down all the different teams headed to MSI, all the different regions, and also just the different teams' opportunities and what is the potential outcomes of this mid-season invitational gonna be. Obviously, Mad Lions is kind of a surprise participant at this tournament, but we're gonna be breaking down what exactly they can do in this video today. We're gonna be talking about whether Mad Lions going to MSI are a legitimate threat. Are they a legitimate contender? Or maybe not. But before we get into that, I just wanted to mention real quick, if you guys have not already, please take a second, smash that like button. I would appreciate it so much. It really does help me out the YouTube algorithm. Just getting my videos out to more and more people. That would be absolutely awesome, helping my channel grow. Also, subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content so you guys don't miss out on anything we got going on in the future. Tons of awesome videos coming your way. So yeah, you don't want to miss out on any of that. So with that being said, let's get right into this. We'll start by taking a look at the Rogue Mad Lion series. Obviously, in Game 1, Rogue did win. Mad Lions started out a little bit slow. A 0-3 game from Humanoid on the Victor. Things didn't look that crazy. Karzi going 3-3 on the Jin. You know, there was Hansama and Trimby just popping off a lot in the bot lane, a lot throughout this whole series. Larson had a very good game, 5-1-9 on the Orianna. 8-2-10 on the Vars from Hansama was kind of the big standout for me there. In Game 2, Rogue strikes back again, taking a commanding 2-0 series lead. Humanoid looking a little bit better in this game, 2-1-13 on the Orianna, but obviously it wasn't enough. Hansama getting that Vars again, getting things done. Mad Lions would have their backs up against the wall. This is when we got, you know, the 3-2 from Arma into the camera, and Mad Lions would need to start getting things done. They were the team coming out of the winner's bracket. They were kind of the favorites headed into this. They'd already beat Rogue 3-1 earlier in the playoffs, and obviously with their backs against the wall, they came out very well. To me, Humanoid stepped up so big. Obviously, a lot of people in this game were talking about Arma on the Wukong. 6-1-3 was absolutely brilliant, but Humanoid 8-2-5 on the Orianna to start turning things around and start gaining some momentum, riding that into Game 4, where Arma again popped off on this Wukong. 5-1-2, El Yoya 5-1-6 on the Udyr. Things started going their way. And then finally in Game 5, Rogue had this game won. They jumped out to a huge crazy lead. They had it in the bag. The series was over. They were getting ready to grab their title. They were getting ready to head to MSI, but obviously Mad Lions brought it all the way back. Humanoid with pretty much just an absolute 1v9 performance. Arma had some good Gnar ultimates. Obviously his team did help him out a little bit, but 7-1-5 on the Victor, going up against Larson on this Rise, who's also very fed, and bringing it home was absolutely insane. But then obviously that brings us to the point again of what can this team do and what will they do at this MSI? Because I've talked about this previously, where Europe in the last couple of years, as we've seen the performances from Fnatic making it to the World Finals, G2 making it to the World Finals, G2 winning MSI, G2 making it to semifinals last year. Europe in the last couple of years has moved up these standings in a lot of people's minds. There's certain people who are saying Europe might be the second best region in the world all of a sudden. You know, they're right there interchangeable with China and with Korea as one of those top 3 regions, and they're starting to distance themselves more and more from North America, but not just because North America is doing bad. I mean, that's part of it. Yes, North America is going this way, but Europe is also moving this way. Europe has, you know, brought themselves up into that conversation to where they are consistently making finals at massive international tournaments, and they've been doing that. But the thing there obviously is that it's mostly been G2. Yes, there was that Fnatic team, but that Fnatic team had Caps, it had Reckless. It's very different than the Fnatic team now. It's mostly been G2 over the last couple of years, but now obviously with G2 going down, we're gonna really see Is it Europe? Is it the LEC that's on a whole nother level? Are the teams that are actually good enough to dethrone G2, to take them down, to win a European title? Are those teams actually good enough to also now go out and prove themselves on the international stage? Are Mad Lions going to go put up a fight against Damwon Gaming? Are they going to go put up a fight against FPX or EDG? Are they going to be able to absolutely roll over Cloud9 like how G2 did against Team Liquid at the MSI finals? Are they going to prove that they are really a cut above the LCS and they're really one of the best teams in the world now that they have that LEC title? Because that's what the LEC title has meant the last couple of years. The team being the number 1 seed and being the representative at MSI for Europe has been one of the tournament favorites, has been an absolute dominant force. And Mad Lions has proved that in this meta, at least in this meta and on this patch, they have a great read on the meta. They can go toe-to-toe with everyone. They have absolutely world-class and elite team fighting. They have a ton of skilled members. I think Humanoid is an absolute world-class mid laner. I think that Kaiser is an absolute world-class support. I have some questions about Karzi. I have some questions about Arma, and I think Elyoya is obviously still pretty young and inexperienced, so there's going to be question marks for him. I think it's going to be tough for Mad Lions to go and do well internationally, obviously, with a lot of their players not having a ton of experience doing something like this. But I think this is a great step in the right direction, and this is a young European team that has been constantly getting better from last year, where they were able to take a best of 5 off of G2, but then obviously they went on to Worlds and kind of made an embarrassment of themselves a little bit, not being able to even get out of the group stages or the play-in stages. But then, obviously, they retooled this offseason. They retooled to have better performances, and honestly, to be able to take down G2, to be able to win an LEC title, and they have accomplished that. But now there is greater goals out there. Now they have the hopes and dreams of Europe on their backs, of the entire LEC on their back. But really, with how NA has kind of been sucking recently, NA fans start to trickle over to the LEC and the European teams as well. So they're going to have like the fates and the hopes of pretty much all of the West on their side, depending on how good or bad Cloud9 does. I think Cloud9 is actually going to be hopefully a pretty respectable team at MSI this year. But Mad Lion's going to have a ton of pressure. And when they had a ton of pressure and everything on them at Worlds last year, that didn't work out so well. But obviously, they have new players. They have Arma. They have Elyoya, who are both looking really, really good. But we'll have to see how this goes. Do they have a legitimate chance to actually go and win this thing? You know, I really think these are the questions we need to begin asking ourselves. When we take a look at what their group is going to look like, we do have the group drawings already. Not all the teams have been locked in and everything, but we do see the LEC group is the LEC. It is the PCS, which is going to be Southeast Asia. It is also the TCL, which obviously we know is Turkey, which, you know, Armut comes from the TCL, so he's going to have some familiarity with perhaps some of the players or perhaps the organization or whatever. And then they have the CB LOL as well. Now, we do know that the PCS and TCL are both internationally pretty respectable league. Are they anywhere near the LEC? Probably not. So Mad Lions should be able to pretty handily, handle them. If they are going to be one of the top teams at this tournament, they should be able to take care of those teams. The CB LOL, I don't really know much about them this year, but I know the last couple of years, I think they have kind of been taking a big step back as far as just their overall quality of play and everything. I know even some of the CB LOL fans themselves, I've seen it. They've told me in my comment section that things are not looking great over there, and they don't really have that high of expectations for them. So this is going to be the group for Mad Lions. I believe the top 2 teams get out of each group, so obviously they should be heavy favorites to not only get out of their group, but also win their group. But when we're taking a look at some of the other teams, we know so far that Damwon Gaming is going to be there. We know that Cloud9 is going to be there. And like I said, to really prove you're deserving of this 1 seed, but also now knowing that MSI this year, that the prize update is that the MSI champion gets an additional regional spot at Worlds, and also how you do at MSI is going to affect the final global power rankings, which also could get you an extra seed at Worlds. That can end up being really, really big. And obviously, European fans, European teams, European orgs, they all want that extra slot, so a lot of that's going to be riding on Rogue, even if they're not going to win MSI, to finish as highly as they can. And again, being from one of the major regions, you're expected to at least finish top 3. That would mean at least get into a semifinals. That's going to mean performing well in the group stage, but then also performing well in, I believe there's like a top 6 where everyone gets to play everyone. So the cool thing is, if Mad Lions does do well and show up in group stage and beat the teams that they're supposed to, we'll get to see them play against the top LPL team. We'll get to see them play against Damwon. We'll get to see them play against Cloud9, potentially the best that the VCS has to offer, and all these different leagues, which I think is going to be an absolute absolutely awesome experience for Mad Lions, and that's going to be great. They're going to gain so much experience. They're going to be so much better prepared, not only for the summer split and potentially winning back-to-back titles, but also looking ahead to Worlds, hopefully getting out of groups, maybe making a run at that tournament, and that's great. And this is going to be so beneficial to Mad Lions and their young players in so many ways. But also, those guys don't just want to go and get experience. Those guys want to go and win. And again, since MSI got canceled last year, dating back to the 2019 G2 MSI title, Europe and the LEC is the defending MSI champions. The LEC are the defending champions here. Mad Lions is going there to prove and defend what G2 has done and what Europe has done historically at this tournament. And are they going to be able to do it? I don't know, because yes, they did look great. And yes, obviously they were able to knock off G2, who I really think was looking kind of like a shell of themselves. I do not think G2 was looking great at all. And I do think Rogue was looking good. I think Mad Lions had to play very, very well to knock off Rogue in the finals. But when G2 won that title in 2019, when G2 made it to the World Finals in 2019, there was not really a team in the world at that time like Damwon Gaming. There was Damwon Gaming, but they were not exactly what they are. Damwon obviously 3-0'd in the LCK finals. They're coming into this tournament very, very hot. They're coming into this tournament very, very scary. And I think Mad Lions has a tall task ahead of them. I do kind of expect FPX to be the LPL representative. We saw what they were able to do to G2 at the World Finals. Obviously, that's going to have a lot of European fans wanting revenge there. So we'll see how those matchups go. And I think Mad Lions, I think they should be able to. I think Mad Lions against Cloud9, I think is going to be very, very interesting game, seeing Perks being able to take on the LEC again. But I am just very curious to see not only how Mad Lions does against the LCS and some of the other top kind of teams from the regions that might be a little bit tier below the top three, but also how Mad Lions does against the LPL, how they do against Damwon Gaming. Because right now, I think going into the tournament, a lot of people are not going to be considering Mad Lions legitimate contenders or legitimate threats to take down this title. I think a lot of people are going to be saying Damwon Gaming and then everyone else, or maybe Damwon Gaming and FPX, or maybe like Damwon, FPX, and then maybe Mad Lions, and then maybe everyone else. I think Damwon is coming in as heavy favorites, and I think most people are going to be expecting the only way that they get knocked out, is going to be in the finals to FPX, to the number one team in the LPL. Again, but that still means that Mad Lions has they're still going to have a ton of awesome chances. If they do make it to the semifinals, obviously they're going to have a series up against FPX or Damwon. But I think it's going to be tough. The FPX and Damwon are both really talented teams, but they're also teams that have just way more international experience than Mad Lions is going to be coming into this with, especially in these big games, especially in international best of fives. I think this is awesome. Obviously, it's the beginning of a new era for the LEC, for Mad Lions, and we'll see what they're going to be able to do. Are they going to be able to string this into awesome international performances, multiple titles, or are G2 just going to be able to come back in the summer and kind of retake what is theirs? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's very, very exciting, but I know that these things take time. Even Damwon Gaming was not able to just burst on the scene their first international tournament and kind of take things over. It took time. It took years. It took multiple events. And I do really think right now, especially at this event, it's the LPL's time. It's the LCK's time. I think Europe needs to make a lot of improvements, make some changes, and really develop over the course of the summer split to be able to have a chance by the time Worlds comes around. So in the end, I don't really think Mad Lions is going to be viewed as a contender or viewed as a team that can win MSI. Absolutely, they can, but I think it would be a very, very shocking upset to a lot of people, even European fans, even LEC fans, even Mad Lions fans headed into this. They had a very close series against Rogue. They almost didn't even qualify for the tournament. They had a very shaky regular season where they were up and down a lot of the times. It's not like they were dominant in the regular season. It's not like they were dominant in the playoffs. And it's not like, Europe is coming in just with having a bunch of teams all the time that are world title contenders or MSI contenders or anything like that. The fact that it's not G2 really changes things in a lot of ways, but those are just kind of my thoughts and opinions on everything that's going to be going on. I definitely want to get your guys' thoughts and opinions as well, just exactly where you're ranking Mad Lions. Because, again, I definitely see them as the third best team headed into this tournament, but I kind of see them as a pretty significant step down from the LCK and LPL representatives. But I do hope I'm wrong. I'm definitely going to be rooting for the West. I want Mad Lions to do well. I want Cloud9 to do well. But it's going to be hard for me to pick against an LPL against LCK finals in this tournament. But that is pretty much it for this video today, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Definitely drop a like if you did. I'd appreciate it so much. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Mad Lions can win MSI? Do you think it's possible? Do you think they'll make it to the finals, semifinals, win it all? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on the latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!